Doing well. On my Instagram, Sachin sent me a request to analyze his Kundli. He shared his date of birth, place of birth, and time of birth, which allows me to do that. And he simply wants to know what gemstones he should wear in order to do better in life. For some reason, I felt that this will be a good case study in order to discuss Gemini Ascendant and to see how we determine what gemstones are required, so that this video becomes a framework for all of those who are looking to develop their skills in the subject of Parashar Jyotish or Vedic astrology. So when you enter the birth details on any software, you typically get a chart that looks like this, where AS is written. This is called the Ascendant, and this is the first house as per this chart. The first house represents the body, and we can see that the first house is ruled by Gemini, which is represented by the number 3, because Gemini, as we know, is the third zodiac. And the ruler of Gemini is Mercury, and Mercury is placed in the 10th house alongside half a dozen other planets. Obviously debilitated, but it is with the Jupiter, which is in its own house, and with Venus, which is exalted. And obviously there is Moon here, and Moon in Pisces indicates that this person is currently going through their Saade Saati. Once we have understood that this individual is going through their Saade Saati, we just look at Saturn, and we see that Saturn here is essentially neutral to the sign lord, but it is overall malefic in this chart. It is malefic because it is neutral to the sign lord, has a inimical relation with Jupiter. This Saturn absolutely hates Moon. It is neutral to Venus. It hates Sun, and it hates Mars. So overall, this Saturn is not very, very happy, or not playing a very good role in this particular chart. And that this person is also going through a Saade Saati, and that almost all of its planets seem to be in the 10th house. The general characteristic will be that this person will be having to work extremely hard at this point in time. And this Saade Saati should end when Saturn actually, it'll stay in Pisces for 2.5 years, then it'll stay in Aries for 2.5 years. But somewhere around 2029, it'll move away to Taurus, and that is when this person's Saade Saati will end. So we get this very quick assessment when we look at this chart. We see the dominant planets in play. Obviously, the first step is to look at the sign lord. And when we look at the sign lord, we do know a few things about Mercury. The first thing is that Mercury absolutely loves Venus, and it loves Sun. And in this chart, this person, and in this particular chart, this person has a very good relationship with Sun. Mercury has a good relation with Sun, and overall Sun is playing a very auspicious role in this chart. It is extremely friendly to Mars, it is extremely friendly to Jupiter, extremely friendly to Moon, extremely friendly to Mercury, neutral to Venus, neutral to Rahu. So overall, the Sun is actually doing a good job. So whenever Sun Mahadasha or Dasha starts for this person, that is actually when favorable events will start lining up for this person. So Mercury, to wrap it up, on this point, Mercury loves Sun, and in this chart, that relationship is shared also by Sun. Sun is liking Mercury quite a lot, and liking quite a few other planets also. Mercury likes Venus a lot, but it's neutral to Venus. The other thing to note is that Jupiter and Mars absolutely hate Mercury, and in this chart, Jupiter truly hates Mercury. So we establish this relation. What I'm basically doing in my mind right now is going through what is known as the Panchvargiya Mitrata, that is fivefold friendship, that is looking at the natural predisposition of a planet with another planet and their current role. So when I look at this particular chart, and when I see that this person is asking for a gemstone, the issue is that I cannot see that any gemstone. Actually, the person should not be wearing any gemstones, and I think while I was just making notes, I'll just share it with you here. So this is what I was referring to. Mercury loves Sun and Venus. Mercury is alright, so we have Mercury loves Sun and Venus. Mercury is neutral actually. Mercury is neutral to Saturn, Mars and Jupiter. Mercury hates Moon. So this is what Mercury feels. So obviously, because Mercury hates Moon, we don't really recommend Moon to anyone who has a Mercury ascendant. Alright, in this chart, this person is currently going through the Saade Saati of Saturn, which is neutral to the sign lord but malefic overall. This phase will end in 2029. So therefore, I feel that this person should actually be doing Shani Beej Mantra and should donate Mars. Why donate Mars? Because he is a Manglik, 12th house Mars. Mars is also the lord of the 6th and the 11th. So Mars is actually lord of tough houses in this particular chart. So this person could donate Mars, but on the topmost priority should be the Shani Beej Mantra. In terms of gemstones, whenever we have a Mercury ascendant, we look at the Lord of the First, which is Mercury itself. This person can wear a Mercury stone, but the problem is that Mercury in this chart itself is malefic. So I don't think so this person can wear Mercury also. The Mercury is not very happy where it is debilitated. And it is not with a lot of friends either. So I think this person should not wear Mercury. That is the first house. The fifth house is ruled by Venus. Venus is exalted in this particular chart. But Venus is exalted in this chart. It's not doing it's doing okay. This particular planet is doing okay in this chart. But to think that you should go out and wear a diamond, I'm not too sure if that's really the urgency. Saturn is obviously present in the 6th house, so we can simply ignore that. Actually, now that I look closely, I just have to really look into Venus a little bit more strong, because Venus is actually giving him a good Raj Yog. The Lord of the 5th and the 10th actually is giving this person a good Raj Yog. So let me just think it through. Venus is, I think here it's friendly to Mars, so I'll give it a +1 and a 0 here. With the Moon -2, -1, -1 and 0. So it's negative here and it is neutral here. So Venus is neutral actually. It's giving a Raj Yog, but it is neutral. It's a very touch and go whether or not the person should wear Venus. But the fact that an Venus gemstone, like an internally flawless 1 carat round diamond, could cost you somewhere around 15-20 lakh rupees, I don't think so. It's a kind of investment you want to make, specifically because you're seeing an exalted Venus in this particular chart. Overall, I think that this person will go through a good phase once Sun Mahadasha starts, and Sun Mahadasha for him is going to start in 2028, and it will continue till a good long period of 2023. So obviously, I think 2028 onwards, good time for him should start. For now, obviously, he should just continue working, and that 2028 to 2029 would be the transition time. And instead of focusing on wearing gemstones, the remedy for him would be to actually chant Shani Beej Mantra excessively. You could donate Mars if you feel like, but I think chanting Shani Beej Mantra and chanting, obviously the sign lord also is always useful. So chanting these two Beej Mantras should provide a lot of help. So that I think should wrap up the recommendations for this person. No gemstones for you. Donation of Mars could be considered, but it is not mandatory. Chanting of Saturn Beej Mantra should be considered to be mandatory. Chanting of Mercury Beej Mantra is always going to be useful for you. So with that, I hope that the video could be of some use to some people who have an interest in this topic. I'll obviously be adding this video in a separate playlist with astrology. If you have any questions, comments, queries, doubts, as usual, please feel free to ask, and thank you for your time. Yes.